Hi, I'm Susan Fowler, and thank you for joining me for Milestone 3. This is the methodology chapter of the research study that seeks to answer the question, how does interviewing for compassion fatigue affect employee retention and long-term care? This is a qualitative study, and I've developed a semi-structured face-to-face interview tool to collect my data. It also uses a deductive approach. I will explore how the interview process identifies a good fit for the organization and whether or not compassion fatigue is a focus. I will also explore the causal effects of how employees are treated and its effect on the success of employee retention, and the organizational initiatives that promote employee health and wellness. I will interview 5 professionals in the senior living sector of the organization that have the opportunity to interview potential candidates for employment. They are a homogeneous group of senior managers and human resource professionals, all from the same organization, that is very proud of the fact that they have a low turnover rate. In preparation for gathering my data, I've reviewed the Quality of Life Survey, which is a survey that anyone can take to measure job satisfaction and compassion satisfaction. It also measures burnout and compassion fatigue. I've also reviewed the termination codes for my organization to see if I could find any of the codes that could indicate that there was compassion fatigue involved in the termination. As I said, I've developed a semi-structured interview tool that looks at the potential employee, also looks at the current employee, and the preventative measures to discuss employee initiatives to promote health and wellness. I've asked permission from the CEO and the VP of Human Resources to collect data at the organization. I've also set up interview times with the participants that have agreed to participate in the study. I've allowed 1 hour for each interview, and I've scheduled them in their offices so I know they'll be the most comfortable. I've developed survey questions and probing questions to keep the conversation moving. I've also written an introductory letter and a consent form, and both the letter and the consent form will be signed before the questions are asked. I've done a practice interview with someone outside of my organization to help refine the questions and to help make them make more sense so that anyone could understand them. And also, this has allowed me to be more confident in discussing the difference between compassion fatigue and burnout. I will enter the simple, straightforward answers on an Excel spreadsheet, and I'll check for patterns, trends, repetition of words and phrases to look for categories of information. I'll also check for indications of consensus of thoughts, strategies, and actions to support the answers to the research questions. I'll use a narrative interpretation of the rest of the findings. I anticipate that there'll be some similar interviewing techniques as they all base their interviews off a behavioral interview. Also, some different approaches to dealing with employee problems are anticipated because they all have different specialties and they handle things in different ways. And I expect that there'll be some similar thoughts and opinions on which organizational initiatives are the most important to them to prevent compassion fatigue and promote employee health and wellness. Thank you for listening. See you in a couple of weeks.